What's up, everybody? We are back from a short break. It's time. I've been lollygagging, avoiding what I need to do, but something needs to come off, and I'm about to do it. I was a little hesitant. The door pins proved to be a little bit more of a challenge than I hoped. Someone mentioned there's an alternative. Didn't really want to do it. I was a little nervous, but that rear door is coming off. So there's essentially a door pin connected to a flange. That flange has some Allen bolts that hold the door to the pin, to the flange, to the body. Yep. So I broke those Allens loose because I was worried it would strip. They didn't. They broke torque. So at the very least, the rear door is coming off. I need to get both of them off, but we'll see what happens. There's a flange at the front also, but there's a fender in the way. Whereas with the rear, I can open the door and I have access to all the flanges. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because I need to remove the new outer rocker from the old outer rocker because they simply welded the two on top of each other, and I want this to be a proper repair. All right, after a little bit of work, we are back at it. I left off and I said I was gonna take the door out. Ta-da. I got one, but I gotta get both, so that's what I'm gonna try to do today. I really wasn't sure how I was gonna do the front door though, because the access that I had to get the rear door off, I didn't have in the front. Luckily, you lovely people out there in the world that pay attention to my complaining and rambling and whatever, somebody on Instagram said that they had been following my stuff and actually sent me a picture of what I needed to do. Check this out. Isn't that great? I think eventually I may have figured it out, but it's a lot easier when someone's like, hey, what you need is right behind that little piece. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna move that trim. Should have access to the bolts from behind, which are 13 mils. And then, yeah, I should have both doors off. And if that works, I have a little bit of time tonight, so that's the goal for tonight. Well, we've made some progress. What do you think happened? Rear's out. If nothing else, I'm adding lightness. I'll just pull all the doors off and just drive it like that, and I'll save a good like 100 pounds on the way to the car and get it real light. Before I even got to that point, I already knew the answer to kind of the uncovering mystery, as you'll see right now. Look at this. What a surprise. The panel went all the way up. I don't know exactly how they installed it, so I'm gonna try a little bit of simple work to try and get the outer panel, the outer panel off, so I can have just the outer inner panel. Yeah. And then all I really need to do then is I'll actually trim at a point I deem fit. I'll trim the new outer panel and weld it to the outer inner panel. All right. Pretty successful night. In about 2 hours, I got quite a bit of work done. Yeah, see all of it, right? Some crazy stuff, but you know, I'm starting to be a little more forgiving on the work that was done previously. I'm starting to understand the mentality that they had when they did this. It wasn't quite the permanent, perfect solution, and it lasted almost 20 years, so, you know. So I mentioned earlier that I had gotten some stuff done the other day, and I kind of wanted to show you guys what's going on. So this is the replacement panel. It's black, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can see how high up it goes. And basically, my main concern was to see just how high they had previously taken it. And it went all the way up to where the seam is. So there's already 2 panels here, but there was a third. And so I essentially drilled out all these spot welds to get the panel out. I basically just decided to cut across so I can get this guy out. This is the old panel. But what I did get a chance to see, let's see if I can bring this in, is where the seam was. So it's kind of hard to tell, but it ends right there and then it ends right here. I took some better pictures. I'll put those in right now as I keep chit-chatting. But basically, they didn't go all the way up, all the way across. At least the panel that they had, it kind of came down and around right here. So now I'm gonna try and pull the back panel out and see just where it all ends over here. I have no idea. So I moved the tape back. You can already see that there is 3 panels. So they definitely went all the way up here. I'm guessing they cut it around here, and it kind of looks like there's Bondo down here. So I'm guessing this is the seam. We'll find out soon. So I got pretty impatient because there's a lot of welds here that are just being paid. Same thing with here. So I just did the same thing that I did on this side. I snipped across just on the inside of it. So hammered it down. You can see that underneath it got a little bit here. It's nothing too bad. And we'll poke it. It's not going through. Could have done this repair a lot better. It's all original paint down here. So try and clean these up right now. All right, so just gonna take a quick break because I really wanted to bring you guys in on something that more than one person has said to me. Basically, they were like, the car's pretty solid, you should just drive it and enjoy it. To which I kind of replied to say that it's not. It is solid, but there's a lot of rust hiding. So I want to just bring you into a couple little pieces. So you see that right there? That's rust. That could have been from my aggressive hammering, but either way, that's weak metal, so that's gonna have to be addressed. You can see some more surface rust in here. We'll see just how bad it is when I get it out. There's rust hiding behind that. And then up here, you can see there's rust behind it. There's rust underneath it. Yeah, it's just flaking away. And you know, we'll see what else is hiding back here. That's why I'm gonna do it. That's why I'm gonna finish this one properly. This side, when I'm done, will not have any rust. All right, folks, in this never-ending battle with rust, I am now, I thought I was at the final extraction point of all of the old metal and the rust and to get the new outer panel off of the old outer panel. So a lot of what I'm gonna bring these videos in now, some time-lapse stuff of just me just grinding away. Basically what I was doing up along the top where the top part of the panel was welded to the old outer panel, rather than drilling out the spot welds, what I was doing is I was actually cutting with the little Dremel wheel from the top to cut the top of the weld, or I guess lop the weld off. I did this because I didn't want to compromise the old outer rocker panel. I can grind that back. The less that I mess with that stuff, the better, because my plan isn't to weld this new outer rocker panel to the old one as they had done in the past. So a little bit of what I was doing today, let's bring that in right now, was just to get the last little bits out, and then just really wanting to get the spot welds, the you know, just everything down to bare, clean metal. So where are we at? I've basically gotten that panels, all those last little bits off. There was a fun section right here where it's all gone now, but as you can see, this part's pretty nasty. I think that was just my aggressive hammering with the chisel. And then you can see over here where I cut, and I cut a little too deep, but it's good metal. I obviously have to clean that up. But then you can see here all those spot welds I was talking about. Pause right here. There was a little bit of a rust spot. I wanted to just make sure it's good solid metal. But yeah, you can see where they had welded it. Down here, this was that back portion. They welded down across this part. Metal is real good still. I thought I was done back here, but I started to split it. And this is what I mean, where I thought I was finally done. You can see that's real rust that's hiding back here. I started to split those two panels, and instead found some more rust. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good though. I gotta say, I was pretty worried about what I would find under here, but this was one spot. There was one more up here, but both of them are proving to be good metal. It was just some surface rust, just some dirt or something, some moisture, something found its way in between the two panels that weren't supposed to be sitting on top of each other. And then give it 20 years and, you know, it gets a little grimy. Plan at this point, I'm kind of unsure. I got to see exactly where I want to weld this panel to this panel. It won't be on top. There probably will be a little bit of an overlap, but yeah, plenty to trim down. And hopefully, I guess this was more of a grinding episode. So let's make that last one a success, right? Like, let's end it on a high note on the next one, because this one is somewhat of a high note, but we want to finish strong. So next episode will be the third, and I'm going to call it now, final installment of the rust repair. Is it the third? Maybe the fourth. Is this the second or the third? I think this is the second. Or is this the third? Huh? Who knows?